Hey guys, what's up? I'm really excited to bring you my first Switch-related content on this channel, and there's no better place to start than the masterpiece that is Super Mario Odyssey. For this video, I'm going to be describing the last 5 power moons I discovered, the ones I had to keep coming back to because they took me the longest to figure out. Alright guys, to be honest, if you've been playing Mario games growing up, none of the moons are really difficult at all, contrary to all the clickbait titles out there.
Come on and jump up in the air. Jump without a care. Jump up 'cause you know that I'll be there. And if you fall,
I made the journey to 999 moons without spoilers or guides and used only the in-game tips. By talking and giving 50 coins to the blue toad in each level to identify the location of the remaining moons, and talking to the hint parrot if you get stuck, you too will be able to get through without relying on outside help. With that said, stop watching if you haven't yet finished the game yourself, because spoilers are coming up. So these are my top 5 most difficult, brutal, impossible, time-consuming, hemorrhoid-inducing moons in Super Mario Odyssey, starting with number 5. Number 5. Bench Friends, Metro Kingdom. For this moon, purchasing the hint takes you to a man sitting on a bench. For the longest time, I thought he was missing something, similar to Pauline and her handbag. So I looked around every inch of the city and walked up to each person to see if they were his friend. I even tried kicking a football all the way to him. What you actually have to do for this moon is just have Mario sit next to him on the bench yourself. There are multiple times where I stood around the bench, on the bench, even jumped on the bench, or ground pounded the bench. But I never realized that you could just sit on any chair or bench by standing on it for a couple of seconds. I accidentally got this one when I put the controller down for a few seconds, only to be shocked that Mario could actually sit down. Number 4. Souvenir Savant, Mushroom Kingdom. Once you get all the moons in one kingdom, you should also have all the purple coins too. The worst is still having those last few to find because you thought you already explored the whole map. Now you have to go through the whole process of double checking each place of the map, looking behind every corner. For me, the last 3 purple coins of the Sand Kingdom just drove me crazy. It's a big map and I had to triple check everywhere. The ones I missed happened to be off the edge of the map. The past times I went to this area, I was riding the Jaxi, so I was too concerned about falling off the edge instead of actually looking past the ledge. Number 3. Secret Path to Lake La Mode, Lake Kingdom. For this one, after you beat the game the first time, these paintings show up in the different kingdoms that transport you to a secret area of another kingdom. I found all the other Secret Path moons, but this one I was stuck on for days. Once I was down to these last 3 moons, I decided to make a list of all the other Secret Path paintings I found in other kingdoms. The ones that remain left, where I haven't found a painting, were the Metro, Lost, Cloud, Cap, Ruined, and Moon kingdoms. I guessed that the bigger kingdoms would more likely have the paintings, so I started with the Metro Kingdom and checked all the other ones too. In the back of my mind, I knew it had to be the Metro Kingdom, and I revisited it to check everywhere. I eventually found it near where the Odyssey lands. That was a cheap trick, Nintendo, because this area is not connected to the rest of the map, and I didn't think it would be there. Number 2. Found with the Seaside Kingdom art, Seaside Kingdom. There are many art pieces for hidden moons, but this one just never clicked for me. Because it was in black and white, I initially thought that it was in one of the Moon Kingdoms. Even though it obviously says keep, after looking for anything that said keep for so long, I thought that I was reading it wrong, and I went to all the kingdoms looking for shapes in the black instead of the white. Similar to the previous moon, I made a list of all the other similar kingdom art moons, writing down both where it gave the clue and where the moon was found. Eliminating the small maps of all the other kingdoms, I saw that the Mushroom, Metro, Snow, and Luncheon Kingdom were the only ones that one of these art moons were not found in. So I checked all of them one by one and was back to the Metro Kingdom again. 3 of the top 5 from this list were from the Metro Kingdom, so I already checked every inch of this place multiple times. I thought I was going crazy, but one time when I was on the building looking down, I happened to be looking at the street, instead of the buildings that I usually focused on, and saw the keep clear, and felt so dumb for not thinking about it before. Number 1. Light from the Ceiling, Mushroom Kingdom. This was the last one, and I spent so many hours trying to figure this one out by the name. There were lights on the stairway, so initially I thought it had to do something with that. I spent a lot of time throwing my hat on these lights. I knew it had to do with the ceiling also, so I spent more time examining every inch of the ceiling, and then with the camera overhead, thinking that the light shining down would highlight a moon underneath the floor. I've played Super Mario 64, and I know the secret flying level by looking at the ceiling. I rotated the camera in all angles from all over the room with no avail. Then it just came to me, and I was wondering if Super Mario 64 had a first-person view. I opened the menu and controls to find that in this game you could look around using first-person by clicking in the right analog stick. I never used this button the entire game, and I didn't even know that the Switch could do that. I have a PS4, but I never had done that for the Switch controller. If this was mentioned earlier in the game, I completely forgot about it. Honorary mention, Beach Volleyball, Hero of the Beach, Seaside Kingdom. This moon was also one I had to revisit multiple times. The worst part about it is that it starts out so slow that each time you restart, the first 10 hits seems to take forever. Once you get to about 40 hits, it seems to go at the same quick speed, but I did this so many times that I started actually feeling anxious when it got close to 40 and started to psych myself out. My eye would keep looking at the counter instead of focusing on the ball and ultimately lead to my downfall. I would also lose attention mostly during the first 15 hits because it goes so slow. There were so many times that a split second would be the difference between getting the ball back up into the air or having to restart. I tried jumping versus not jumping, and throwing my hat versus not throwing my hat, but what eventually worked for me was not jumping but always using my hat to hit the ball back up. As you could tell from the list, the moons that gave me the most trouble were finding and figuring out the clues, not the actual platforming levels. For those, you know what you needed to do, and you just need to get better at it. I'm glad I took the time to find all the moons myself. I may play the game a bit more to unlock all the costumes, but I'm glad I can retire this game knowing that I found all 999 moons myself. I hope you guys liked my video and my list. Let me know by commenting below which moons gave you the most trouble and which would be on your top 5. Thanks as always for watching, and don't forget to do the Odyssey.
Odyssey, 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 Odyssey,